Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 33 of the Dear Herbalist Podcast titled, How to Handle the Highs and Lows of Your Herbal Business. Now, today I'm going to be talking to you about what causes these fluctuations in your business and how you can handle them. So grab your herbalist notebook, a pen, and let's get into our topic. Now, there are several factors that contribute to the highs and lows in your herbal business. And so by understanding what these are and addressing these factors, your herbal business can better anticipate as well as navigate the highs and lows of the market. And it is very common for these highs and lows to happen. We're not, just because we have a product that is tangible and most parts are edible that people need, doesn't mean that we can't fall victim to the highs and the lows of the market. And I'm sure some of you guys are feeling that now, even in the midst of this crazy economy, right? Let's get into this. Let's look at what are some of the reasons why there are highs and lows. What are some of the contributing factors of the highs and lows in the market? Number one is seasonal variations. So demand for certain products and herbs and stuff like that can fluctuate based on seasonal factors. And this also can include, if you harvest your own herbs, harvesting times, weather conditions, or even cultural traditions. So for example, there might be a surge in demand for immune boosting herbs during the flu season, whereas during the summertime you may find a demand for allergy medicines and those type of things. So it just depends on the season, typically what people are looking for, and that can cause a high and low in your business, especially if you focus on one particular herb or one particular formula. Another thing is that market trends and fads. Consumer preferences and trends can impact the popularity of specific herbs or even herbal remedies. For instance, a sudden trend towards natural skincare products could boost your sales of herbal skincare ingredients, while dietary fads and things like that could shift you in a downward spiral if people are just not focusing on that at that time. And as we know in our business, there's a ton of fads. If you don't believe me, go check out TikTok. On TikTok, you can see, hey, try this, try this toothpaste, try this hair cream, try this hair oil, try this, try this skincare product. There are tons of fads and market trends. So this can definitely affect your business if you focus in one particular section. This can impact your business if you are very specific about what it is that you sell. Another thing is regulatory changes. So changes in regulations or legal requirements related to herbal products can influence the availability, production, and marketing of certain herbs. Compliance with new regulations may require adjustments to product formulations or labeling, potentially impacting sales and profitability. So oftentimes you may see that, oh, this herb is banned or you can't use this anymore. So you kind of want to stay abreast of what those regulatory changes are, but they do happen every now and again. So keep an eye on that just in case you may have that herb, for instance, like lobelia or something like that, or something that potentially could get banned or is already banned. Just make sure that you stay abreast on what those regulations are so that you don't have a downward spiral in your business because you can't use it anymore. Next is competition. So the more people know about plants, the more people get excited about plants, the more plants benefit other people. They get excited and they want to start creating their own products, right? So this level of increased competition within our industry can lead to price wars, decreased profit margins, or the need to differentiate products and services to stand out in the marketplace. This can happen. And oftentimes new herbalists, when they come in, they don't really understand how to price their products. And we've all made these mistakes. I've made these mistakes. And so you look at, well, I don't really know if people are going to want to buy it, so I'm going to put a cheap price on it so that I could sell more. Not really realizing that oftentimes if it's priced a little bit higher, people see the value as higher. So if we have hundreds of thousands of new herbalists or even seasoned herbalists pricing their products, let's say way too low, then even if you have your product priced right, you'll mess around and be like, I'll get the cheaper product, just because of the economy or just because I want to, I will get the cheaper product. Now you have a lot of people out there that do understand, they understand value And so they'll like, that's cheap price. I'm going to go over here. Yours costs a little bit more, but I know you. I know your products work. So I'm going to pay whatever your price is because I just need to know. I don't feel like taking a chance over here and getting a lower cost product and then it may be ineffective. Now that product could be good, but just because of the price is so extremely low. So if you run across that where, you're in an area where a lot of the herbalists, they're pricing their stuff extremely, extremely low, that could present some competition for you. Now, how you could probably get around that is maybe reduce the amount of the product that you're selling. Therefore, thus you can reduce the price rather than saying, okay, I'm gonna have an 8-ounce bottle of some kind of skincare oil, but I'm gonna charge $10 for it. No. Right? Absolutely not. But you can do a 1-ounce bottle and maybe charge a little bit less. So think about it in terms of that. But competition, the more people know, the more people want to get involved. Competition is vast, so that can also hinder your business. Next is economic factor. Right now, we are kind of like, what I feel like, based on my experience, we're on an economic downturn right now. I don't necessarily want to say recession, but people's spending habits are different. I'm noticing as I go out to different vendor fairs and that kind of stuff, people's spending is a little different. They're not spending as much and they're kind of careful about how they're spending, even more so than asking me a million questions about the product. They're more so looking at the cost. Okay. And they may say, okay, I'll get this and this. And then I may go to another booth. I really don't need art right now, or I really don't need trinkets right now, but I can use this herbal product, this herbal tea. People are kind of juggling and they're trying to figure out how much do we have to spend on herbal products or even wellness services and still be able to eat and still be able to pay our bills and that kind of stuff. During the downturns, okay, of the economy, then we'll talk about some tips on how to deal with that in a little bit later in the podcast, okay? But economic factors, that is one of the things that could impact your sales as well as your profit. Next, supply chain issues. I'm sure y'all have dealt with this. I have dealt with this as well. Oh, we ran out of this herb, or oh, there was such a high demand for this butter that we're out of it. Any disruptions in the supply chain, such as shortages of key ingredients or difficulties in sourcing organic or sustainably harvested herbs, can impact product availability and production costs. And this is the reason why I am a big advocate for growing your own herbs or partnering with someone in your community that also has their own herbs that you can buy from. All right. Because this can help you at least ensure a little bit that you're going to have the herbs that you need versus if you're ordering them off of one of these big herbal product supply chain companies and they're like, oh, because we had such a high demand, I'm sorry. We'll have it in 2 weeks. Well, you might need it now, or you might need it in a couple of days because you have a few orders to fulfill. And trust me, it can be frustrating because you don't want to make too much inventory, right? Because eventually if it doesn't sell like you want it to, then you have to make some different decisions or you have to mark it down. But you don't want to make not enough. And then you have an influx of orders and you're like, oh, shoot, now I got to hurry and run out somewhere and get some olive oil. Or I got to run out somewhere and get some shea butter. I got to go online and order this tea tree oil and I hope they have it. I can't go to this company I normally go to because they're out of it. So I have to try and trust another new company. Trust me, I get it. I'm there with you. Another thing is consumer education. All right, this can impact the highs and lows and the fluctuation in the business. So the levels of consumer awareness and education about the benefits of herbal remedies can influence the demand. So if there is effective marketing and educational efforts, this can lead to people really wanting to go out there and buy. But also, that's the upside. The downside, if there's a lot of misconceptions or negative publicity about herbal medicine, its effectiveness, how it impacts the body and those kind of things, this could deter potential customers. So there's kind of two sides of the coin here. Yes, if you hear that, green tea is very powerful and it's strong, high in antioxidants, give you strength and all that, protect your immune system. People are like, yeah, I want that. And if they hear that all the time, let's say on social media or TV, they hear it enough, they're like, I have to go have this because I want to boost my immune system. I want to make sure I'm good, right? But then if you also hear on the other side of that, don't take licorice root. Your heart could stop and you could drop dead. If you hear that 15,000 times across 15 different social media platforms. Or I took rosemary, I put it in my hair and all that. Now I'm bald, I'm dealing with it. And you hear enough of that, people are like, you know what? I don't think, and they won't just take that particular herb, right? They won't just say it's that herb. They'll say, you know what? I'm going to leave herbs alone because it sounds like, they got some crazy stuff in there and I don't want my hair falling out. I don't want to die. I'm good. They're not just going to focus on, let's say, the negative aspects of whatever they're presenting that other herb to be. They're going to look at all herbs. So that can cause fluctuation in the market as well because people are fickle. And I say that all the time. They like what they like when they like it. And then the next day they may not. So that's just, how it goes. All right. Now, let me give you 3 solid tips on how you can navigate the highs and lows of your business. Number 1, diversify what you offer. So you want to explore different revenue streams, such as selling a variety of different types of herbal products. Look at offering workshops or classes, providing consulting services, or even creating online courses. This type of diversification can help cushion the impact of the various fluctuations in demand for specific products or services. So if you are trying to go out into the marketplace and let's say your products are being marketed to the general public, well, maybe switch it up a little bit and market some products specifically to herbalists because we gonna use them. So think about it that way. Diversify what you offer rather than having that one single hair oil that now seemingly everybody is copying and selling in their areas, lowering your price, right? Lowering your production value, all of these things. Why don't you add some other things on there? Research what other things people need, what are people asking for, those type of things. And then you create your product. I know one of the things that are going really popular right now are the toothpaste powders. So maybe if you don't sell that, sell toothpaste. Create your own herbal toothpaste powders and do that. People are starting to understand the negative sides of fluoride and all these other things. So think about that. Research the shifts and then diversify what you offer. You don't have to keep changing every 5 seconds, but if you feel that it's valuable, then add a product or 2 extra, right? Or create an online course to teach someone how to do something. Just kind of diversify what you do, and that'll help you deal with the fluctuations of the business. Another thing is build a strong community. I know that it can feel frustrating. You can get anxious, especially if you just kind of dived out there and started this business. You were enjoying the highs, when people were out there and buying and you could see the profit margins. But then when the lows set in where people aren't buying as much, or they're not listening as much, or they're not doing as much, then that can be discouraging. So this is the reason why you want to build a strong community, because you are not alone. Those lows can be frustrating. And so it's like, what do I do? How do I do this? I done jumped off my job. I done said I was going at this full throttle, 100%. What do I do? Well, by cultivating relationships, right, with your customers and other fellow herbalists, then you can build that strong community, first of all, to have that support. Just the verbal support. Listen, that happened to me, and this is how I had to pivot. I was once selling this, and now I'm selling that, and this actually caused me to boom, and I made so much money. Now I was able to save a little bit, so that way the next fluctuation come, I'm straight. You can have people that talk to you that have gone through it or that are going through it as well, even if they just say, you know what, I feel you. It's rough out here. People just aren't buying like they used to. I don't even know if it's worth it going to these vendor fairs and vendor shows anymore because people just aren't trying to buy. You will have a sense of, wow, okay, somebody gets it. It doesn't mean you're going to stop, and you shouldn't, right? Because people still need what you have. You just have to figure out a different way to give it to them. But you want to make sure that you embrace the fact that you are not alone. Your feelings are valid. Other people feel the same way, but you just got to ride through it. And having that strong community is very important because they can provide you with that feedback, right? Maybe, hey, sis, you've been selling this way for this amount of time. Maybe switch it up a little bit. I tried this. Or they can give you some referrals. Oh, you sell that? I got a couple clients that are actually looking for that. I'm gonna send them to you. You know what I mean? Or if you have some stuff for their clients, send your clients to them. I mean, just make it a community. And that's what I feel like we need to really build in herbal medicine. Because one person can't do it all. But if we can build a community, if you are selling hair oil and I am not, but I have a client that's dealing with alopecia and I have a relationship with you, then why would I not send my client to you? Why would I be, no, I need this money, so I'm going to try to make me up some hair oil right quick. You know? Because I'm already getting a consultation fee. I'm already getting consulting services, or I'm already getting wellness coach fees and all this other stuff. So why not spread that money around? That's just my thought. Maybe I'm different. I don't know. But you need those referrals, but you also need that emotional support, especially during challenging times. And you can get it from your family. You can get it from friends. Okay. But the people that are in this business, in this grind every single day, trying to build, trying to talk to people, trying to get the word out, they understand. You know what I mean? And it's different. It's one thing you got people encouraging you, and you always appreciate that because you know people have your best interest at heart. But when you have somebody that's doing what you're doing and they are grinding this thing out and they're like, I'm trying, I'm keep going, I'm going to do the best that I can. You know, I know it's an uphill battle, but I'm committed, I'm dedicated, and I'm going to ride this wave because I know I'm going to see the mountaintop. You know what I mean? And you can do it too. Come on now. That'll preach. Where my church goes out there. Where my saints. But no, seriously, it's you want to make sure you build a strong community that will help you deal with those fluctuations. And then my last point is create a plan for seasonal fluctuation. So if you've had one good solid year in the market in herbal medicine, then analyze that year. What were the highs? What were the lows? What were people really buying? What were they attracted to? What were some of the things that really drew them to herbal medicine? What do they spend their money on, right? Do this market analysis after every product year. This will help you to be able to look at those seasonal fluctuations and then be able to realistically predict what those seasonal fluctuations are. Understand that demand for herbal products and services can vary throughout the year due to these seasonal changes or holiday trends. So, you may fall into that chai latte trend. So develop a business plan that takes into account these fluctuations and implement these strategies to adjust your inventory, how you're marketing, and price accordingly. If you like what you heard, please stay tuned for more informative podcasts. Follow me on all social media sites at The Demystified Herbalist. And if you have any type of health issues and things like that, you want to get some products for your health needs, then go on over to my website at thedemystifiedherbalist.square.site. And until next time, family, I'm out.